Morning, welcome to the video. Monday the 15th of September. So I mean surely the start of September was literally like a couple of days ago, right? I can't believe where it's gone. So it's a mowing week, but today is Monday and that will be project or lawn care, and in this case it's going to be autumn lawn care. Ow, God, that hurt. So what we're going to be doing is lawn care on one particular property, trying to do some spraying on some others, but it's nice and dry, blue skies, but it's seriously windy, so I don't think we're going to be doing any spraying today. So what I am doing is I'm just getting the tools out, etc. So the plan would be on the first property is a full renovation on the front lawn, hollow coring, heavy scarify, over seeding, top dressing, etc. All the stuff you'd imagine. Back garden is in a much better condition. There's a couple of spots where it could do with some seeding. All I was going to do is give it a verticut, a feed, and just a bit of seed and soil in a couple of poor areas. Now the plan was on Friday I was hoping to get in time to go and cut that lawn. However, as I put the mower in, the mower was a bit weird. Like the handlebars felt loose all day. I kept trying to tighten them up, and then when I went to put them in the van to leave my regular Friday lawns to go to finish this one off, all of a sudden, actually it's this one over here, isn't it? All of a sudden the handlebars on one side went up further than they did the other, and I realised the handlebars had snapped, which isn't ideal. So what I'm going to do is the Hater 41 has been at the workshop where I take things locally to get fixed. Sometimes Greg Francis fixes it, but having to get over to his can be a bit tricky, particularly when we're busy. So they've had a look at it and they can't find anything wrong with it. Now the problem was when you release the handles, the roller just kept going around. So it meant that I had to sort of pick it up and sort of do an endo, if you like, when I sort of turned around and stuff. Now this was only on my lawn, so it wasn't end of the world kind of stuff. I sort of persevered with it. However, they've tested it a number of times. They've contacted me to say they haven't found any faults. They've retested it and they can't find anything. So they think what happened was on the way down in the van, it's bounced around and whatever's was stuck has come loose. It could be that. It could be that because I was cutting my lawn, so which actually I rarely do with that mower. So I'd used it and then it just sat in the shed, and then I'd used it again and it just sort of sat in the shed. So so maybe that is what it is, which I think means there is something wrong with it. But for the minute, until something drastically goes wrong, there's no point just replacing potentially bad things. Certainly at this time of the season, if we can just persevere with it, then we'll try that. So I need to go and pick that up. So when I pick that up, I'm also going to inquire just to see if they've got any scrap Hater 56s just kicking around, which are literally for the scrap metal guy, because if I can rob a handle off there, that's all I need for it. So so yeah, that's what I'll try and do there. Just got the scarifier out, so I'm going to give it the front lawn a heavy scarify and the back lawn a verticut. So we have the verticutting blades on, so it looks as though I shall it makes sense just to verticut the back first, to deal with that, and then change the cartridge over, which is good because I know which cartridge I now need to take with me, so that's good. So we're going to get this on. We've already got the aerator on. Now I just need to pick some seed and some fertilizer, etc. So I need two types. One will be a pre-seed fertilizer for the front, and the second one will be more of kind of an autumn time one. So I'm sure I've got something. I just need to have a look through. Okay, so just gone and collected the mower and just turned up to site. So far here, Spooners are here with the soil. So perfect timing, really. Okay, so this is with the 41 on its lowest setting. I cut it on 3 first, setting 3, then went to setting 1, and then cut it twice on setting 1. So that's as scalped down as it's going to be. If I wanted to go lower, I'd have to get the proper windy. I would have to get out the cylinder mower, which I don't often do because dragging the cylinder mower across the the gravel's the worst possible thing you could probably do. So yeah, so there we go. So I'm just going to cut the back down, not quite as low, and then verticut the front, verticut the back, then change the tines over and scarify the front. Okay, so I did say I was going to verticut the back first and then put the scarifying blades on. Actually, I could do with ripping a bit of the sort of the thatchier stuff and sort of dead grass that hasn't recovered yet out, so I'm going to just take this off anyway. The verticut, so essentially all I've done is take the box off the side. Essentially, I've done loads of videos on this, and then the only thing is this is a bit spiky, this one, so we just slide it and then lift it out, gently put it to the side, and actually, so this is the free swinging blades, and this is brand new cartridge actually. So all we're going to do is line it up, place it in the bearing there, then line this bearing up here, and then and that's pretty much it. So 2 bolts into the bearing here, 1 bolt to just connect that back on, and then your 2 bolts just to put the bearing guard back on. Job done. It's as easy as that. The reason I'm going for the free swinging blades over the standard fixed blades is I just find this just pulls a bit more out at this stage. What I want to do is pull the rubbish out. The fixed blades kind of more cut the thatch, cut the moss. It does pull it out, but it kind of also cuts through it. And then the extreme version of that is the Renovation cartridge, and that basically just creates grooves and brings up bits of soil. So I mean, that's cool too. So it totally depends on what it is you're trying to achieve. Now, if you can only afford 1 blade, or you've only got options for 1 blade, then I'd probably go something like the fixed blade or the free swinging. They'd be the 2 sort of main choices. I am in a luxury position where I have, you know, a number of attachments for all different types of things, but you know, it's everyone's got a different sort of scenario and setup, so you kind of just got to decide what works best for you and go with that. Okay, so there we go. This has been scarified a couple of times. So yeah, we've got quite a bit out. I'm going to do 2 passes now with the hollow tine aerator, just to get out, well, 1, relieve compaction, but to get a bit more sort of thatch and crap out the ground. So what we can then do is get some good soil actually deep down as well as just sprinkling it on top. That's the plan. Obviously that needs to be leveled off and everything else, but yeah, not bad. There's a little bit of rain in the air right now, so yeah, it was a bit of a rush to get it cleaned up, but yeah, not bad. It's just rained for 10 minutes, so I've just sort of taken cover, but now we're just taking off the little pencil tines. Now these would have been used during the summer just to punch a few holes in the grass, just trying to catch any rain, but not make any obvious sort of kind of so it doesn't look like we've actually done any work as such or disturbance to the lawn, but made those holes which will catch any falling rain, etc. And also when we use the sprinklers, then that will hold, hopefully, so catch some of the rain in the soil profile. So we're kind of done with those for the moment. So now we're on the maintenance thing. So what we're going to do is put the hollow cores on. So just one thing to remember is that when you do these is needs a little washer on there. Now we turn these, spin these round. It's a 17mm spanner. Now, not that it's a major problem, but when you tighten these up, they kind of end up facing whichever way they end up facing, where traditionally what you would actually want is the tine facing at the back. So the tine, as it goes in the ground, the core fires out the back and not fires forwards, etc. Now what they're doing is, if you remember from the video that John showed, actually now you're just going to put the rods straight up and then it's going to have a bolt that goes through it, so that's going to lock it in, so you don't have to worry about this kind of working its way loose or snapping off or anything like that, and then the thread getting stuck in there. If it was to snap off, it would, when you take the bolt out, it would just fall out, which makes it a lot easier to deal with. So yeah, so we're just putting these on. These are new, so that's pretty good. So we'll get some good depth with these, because obviously if you're the sandier and the stonier the soil, the quicker this wears. Okay, so that's 2 passes with the aerator. Very, very sandy. It doesn't really look it because of the colour of the soil, but it is pretty sandy, so those cores don't really hold much structure, so they've kind of, that's why it just looks like it's covered in top dressing as such. But what I do want to do is get some of that sand out, essentially. So I'm going to clear it all up. I could break it all down, but I want to clear it up, because what I want to do is get some soil with a bit more organic matter sort of into it, to just make it a little bit more healthier and generally a little bit less sterile, really. Okay, there we go. Cool, long old day today. That's 2 bulk bags of soil just gone in there just to level it, and yeah, brushed into the holes as well, so there's it's down into the soil profile as well. Anyways, I'm gonna go get a haircut. Okay, morning, it's Tuesday today, so oh crikey, door's moving. There we go. So normal fortnightly mowing today. A little bit different this week in the sense that the 41 went away because it the roller kept getting locked and spinning, so either it wouldn't spin but you couldn't pull the mower back, or it would be spinning, and when you get to the end, you'd sort of be trying to drive off and all the rest of it. It's been at the local mower repair place, which is local to me, as opposed to Greg Francis, who's not as local to me, and they've had it for a week, and they've tested it and run some more tests and say there was nothing wrong with it. About 10 minutes into using it yesterday, all the problems were there, so I was waiting for them to actually call me back. So that's one issue. So that one's not working. It's working, but not particularly working very well. Then obviously I've got the broken handle on the green 56 Pro. So that's kind of out of action. What I was hoping, and I've kind of put the message out to a few people who potentially would have access to scrap mowers, if anyone had a handle available, as opposed to buying a brand new one. If I have to, I have to, but if someone's literally got one waiting to be scrapped, then that'd be great. And as if anyone watching this has got a Hater 56 old mower that needs scrapping, I could do with the handle off of it. So this is 3rd week of September, so if you're watching this in a year's time, then maybe I've probably sorted it by then. I say maybe. Now, when I went to my dealers last time, the computers weren't working, so with respect to getting the cable for the mower, which is snapped because the drive cable's gone on the other one, he was like, I've probably got one. I've got one in stock, but without the computer, I can't tell you what it is or where it is, etc., etc. So I was like, okay, well, no worries. I said, I've got essentially sort of just under 2 weeks. So when I pick the mower, the 41 back up, I'll get it then. Computers were still down or had been up, but when I went back in, were down again. So I had to leave without one. And so I've quickly jumped online and I bought one yesterday, so hopefully it'll be out pretty soon. But that leaves me in a situation where I can either put one of the take the cable off the broken handled one and put it on the other. That's one option. Or the other option is I just persevere the Time Master. So I think for quickness sake, I'm just going to do that. So but sometimes I think it's no bad thing. Sometimes mixing the mowers up on lawns and things, it just kind of pushes the grass and pushes it in different directions, and I always think it actually looks quite good after that, so that's what I'm going to go for today. As I say, usual Tuesday fortnightly mowing. So again, you've seen it all before, so if anything of note really happens or I need to show you, then I will do so. If not, then we'll just move on to tomorrow. Thursday. Didn't show the first lawn, just had to just crack on. This is the worst part of Thursday lawns. So nice, lush, wet, clovery lawn. This is the problem with the 05R. There's this bloody tube here. That's heavy, that is. There we go. It's trying to get all the wet grass to go through there. And if we look down here, completely rammed. Whereas on the 50R, it's twice, the hole is twice the size and 1/4 of the distance now, it seems, which is much better, because I've somehow got to stick my hand in there and pull that all out, because that bloody fan that's supposed to assist it just is shit in wet conditions. Things have really greened up. Show you this lawn here. So I've done nothing to this. This is just natural grass and clover. And yeah, it's really greened up, so it's nice. First lawn again. The first lawn actually took forever because there was leaves down, there was loads of strimming, loads of mowing. If you remember last week, I didn't mow there, I had the flail, so I used my kind of allotted time there to do some flailing instead. So, but even so, I wouldn't have been on the formal side of the lawns, I would have been on the semi-roughs anyway, so actually it wouldn't have made a difference. It was just normally what I would do is I normally cut, trim, and then sort of do the light bit of blowing through the season, and then we get to about now, and I kind of drop the strimming side of it as much as I can. There's obviously some bits you have to do where the mower can't go, etc., but drop the kind of finer edging and stuff and replace that with blowing until blowing becomes so essential you have to drop the mowing, and then kind of finish off with some strimming and some edging and some blowing towards the end of the year. That tends to be how it works. But where obviously we've obviously had this new growth which has happened over the last couple of weeks, so I hadn't therefore used the strimmer for any sort of edging or areas, so I had to kind of really get that done. We're now back off to Monday's job to recut the back lawn and feed it ultimately, and then we'll see what happens. The plan was to go to another job and spray the weeds, but it's kind of keeps hinting at rain. We just had a few drops just then, so I would be going. If I was going to go, I'd go straight now, but I'll just show you here. You can kind of see that there's loads of spots of rain in the air, so I don't want to get there or get halfway there and then it starts raining completely, so I'll postpone that. I'm not on any pickups or anything this week, so actually tomorrow, if tomorrow's good, I'll be able to stay out and hopefully get that done. We're about 7:30, getting on for 8 o'clock now, so I've got to say this is probably the best thing I've bought this year, is this multi-charger. It's bloody brilliant. Just means you can forget about it, and even sometimes I haven't charged them till just before I've gone to bed, and then I've whacked them on charge all together at the same time, and you can just walk away and just leave it, and they're all ready in the morning. Also, it's a slow charge, so that does lengthen the lifespan of the battery, so it's amazing. Anyways, today, if you remember, on Friday of last week, was it? Or the Friday before, I think. No, Friday before, the cable snapped. The drive cable, that is. I then went into my dealer, or my repair guy, my local repair guy, to drop off the 41 and order a new cable. Their computer system was down at the time, so I said, don't worry about it, I've got a spare mower and I've got to come back and get the 41 at some point anyway, so I'll do it then. Used the spare mower, and then last Friday the handlebars snapped, so I put it in the van, so that knocked that on the head, and then picked up the 41 this week, whatever day that was, and their system had fixed but was now back down again. So he was saying he probably had them in stock but couldn't find them or wouldn't be able to look. So I was like, okay, so quickly jumped onto Google, E32 drive cables. There's two options. One is where you've got a hook both sides, and then the other one is kind of a bit of a sort of, I don't know how you'd explain it, but it kind of goes through an eyelet and then sort of locks into place. So I knew that it was the one with the hooks, so there we go. So yeah, it's I'm hoping it's a simple fix. I'm sure I've done them before. Actually, I'm pretty adamant I have. When the, what we got here? Oh, so we got two. Oh god. Somehow we've got 3 drive cables for the Toro Time Master. If you remember last year, they kept going. Don't know why. Never had a problem like that. I've had them go before in the past. I'd had one go in about 8 years, and then I had like 2 go on one and 1 go on the other. So who knows? Anyway, somehow I've ended up with 3 spares, and because I've got 3 spares, none of them have got broken. So anyways, right, I'm going to try and fix this. I would record it, but I just need to crack on. So you'll notice didn't really film anything on Tuesday. Tuesday was sort of a lot of mowing between the wet weather and stuff. Did a really interesting quote that I'm interested. Well, good local job, 5 minutes from the house, 2 minutes from the container. So it'd be a nice sit down job as well as a little bit of pedestrian striping as well. So if that one comes off, that will be good. So I need to get that one quoted at some point and soon. It's just having the time to actually do the work. But I'm really would be taking that one on with a view to next season. And then yet today was, yeah, just more mowing. Really, really long grass. So just trying to get through it as best I can. So yeah, with a bit of feeding as well today, which is good. Although one of my clients opened the front door while I was just finishing off to pick up an Amazon package or something, and he was just in his pants. So that was terrifying, as you can imagine. Anyways, right, I'll Friday lawns on a Friday. I think what I'm going to do is cut the fronts and give them a light scarify. That, I think, will be the plan for tomorrow. Okay, what I thought I'd do is just quickly show you. Obviously this is sort of attached up the handlebar here, attached down there, so you follow it around, and then essentially it's connected in there, so you've got a little stopper which sort of holds it in place there, and then just under here it's just the hook, just hooks into this here. You can just sort of kind of see the hook there, and you can see that eyelet there. So that's all it is really. It's just taking that off, hooking it back in, trapping it in there, and then and then just bringing it around so it comes out next to that one. So just follow that one out, and that is pretty much that. Morning, Friday, and I don't know what the temperature is, but it was about 16 when I got here at about 8:15, and apparently it's going to be highs of 25, so not bad for I don't know if we're mid or late September now, probably mid to late. Anyway, this morning, usual Friday lawns, but what I'm actually going to do is just cut and scarify the front lawns on all of them. And then leave it at that. That's probably all I'm going to have time for. So show you what I've done so far. So just run the scarify over, not too deep, but what I really want to do is stand the grass up, get a little bit of thatch and moss out, but get the grass stood up nicely so we can give it a nice clean cut. I've already cut it once. I'll get the worst of it cleared up, then I'll run over again just to put a stripe back in, but also with a new blade on, give it a nice clean cut. Now we've stood that grass up, and done the same over there as well. And there's a few areas like under this tree here, which I will come back for next week, and make some holes and things just to plant some plant some seed in. Seed delivery should be turning up today actually, so hopefully that's there when I get back. Same again over here as well, just a light scarifying, nothing too dramatic. Right, gonna get this cleared up and same again on another house. Okay, so there we go. Good delivery of seed and fertilizer for next week. We should be getting that out. Unfortunately, there's pushchairs and stuff, so I can't get in there. Anyways, so crikey, look at me. That's all dust. So hope you enjoyed the week, and I shall see you next week for a little bit more scarifying and mowing and feeding and seeding and all that jazz.